Hey everybody, welcome back to Stars Reach. So just a warning, this is a pre-alpha build. Everything you see is going to change for the better. It's basically quite stripped down, so you're not going to see a lot of features at first because that's the whole point of it. Today we are actually going to take a tour of each of the worlds. There's 4 worlds and one, well, let's say there's 5 zones on 4 different worlds and 1 in space. And I want to share that with you today because I think that would be a lot of fun. So we're going to do that. We're going to create a new character here. The character creation, all that fun stuff here, that's all going to happen in the future. You'll be able to customize it, things like that. It's very plain on purpose. That is literally part of the testing right now. But we're going to go in the world here, and we should be able to get in the world here in a second. There we go. Ta-da! There's a lot of people on right now, so this is going to be kind of cool. But I wanted to see what the world was like as like a fresh start, because we went around when there's a lot of players that had built stuff on them. There's a lot of features of the worlds we never saw. Of course, they're going to have lots of different procedurally generated worlds, different looks, things like that. But I thought this would be kind of cool to check out the first ones here. Okay, here you go. So we're not going to do the tutorial. And here you go. So this is the first one here. Which one is this one? This might be exotic. I'm not 100% sure. Get rid of that. There you go. Hit T key. Oh, this might be temperate. Yeah, we have exotic, temperate, tropical, and desert. So I think this might be just temperate. Oh, somebody's already. Yeah, it doesn't take long for people to dig holes on the server, right? So as you can see, that's happening already. So we can climb up here. I want to get a better look up here if we can. There you go. Oh yeah, that is so cool. I think this might be exotic actually, because I remember people talking about big mushrooms, and I think that's what they were talking about. So this could be the exotic world. So let's wait till it's daytime and we'll take a closer look at it. I just want to appreciate the nighttime here. Up in the sky, look at you can see other planet or moon or something up there. You can see other bodies up here. Look at how cool that is. I never really pay attention at night and never really look up. But they definitely did a really good job. Now keep in mind, day-night cycles are sped up during the test here. So obviously you'll see those cycle pretty quickly here. That's cool. I was just looking at the sky and there's just a flock of birds flying by. That's pretty cool. Even if they're not real or you can't do anything, I think that just little details like that makes the world look great. So yeah, you can tell daytime is coming here. So I like the high point here. You can go even higher apparently over there. Maybe even over there a bit. So the world is right now 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer, and the height of the world is 256 meters. Yeah, so if you didn't know, 1 by 1 kilometer is 1,000 by 1,000 meters. It might seem small, but it's actually quite big when you really think about it. So you can see there's a corner way over there, and the other corner is like way over here, I guess, so behind that mushroom. So when you think about it, it's actually pretty big, especially when you're up in the air. Right now, or sorry, when you're down on the ground. When you're up in the air, it might look smaller because you can obviously see the corners, but a lot different. So yeah, people are around doing all their digging and stuff. We're gonna just literally be running over here, just checking out the world a bit. So we got the forest here. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the exotic one. I will, do a timestamp or something and correct what it is in the description. So it won't be a super long one. Today we're not playing with any of the mechanics. It's just literally showing off the world itself. So this is one of the mushrooms here. Here's some creatures here. But yeah, this is cool. So I guess it's just made out of terrain blocks of some sort. Yeah. But still really cool. The people will for fun knock these down because they'll just chop the bottom up and he'll be like, yay! And then they'll disappear. So I guess this is what they were talking about that. Of course, you got the forest here. You can go a little deeper in here. There's another player. Forest is pretty good here. Oh, out. There you go. We might die here. Those are suicide guys, so they kind of go a little crazy. But, oh, this is kind of cool. A little crater area here. This is maybe cobalt, my guess is, material-wise. So there's some actual surface materials as well. Which is interesting. Yeah, I've never seen like a fresh world like this, so kind of makes sense why some resources and why some holes were on the surface just to begin with. Outside of us as players digging down, obviously some of the resources are actually on the surface, which I did not know that till now. So that's kind of cool to see that happen. So this is what the world border looks like when you get close to a world border here. So yeah, you can't fall or anything, but yeah, we might as well check it out. This is what it looks like. Whee! Kind of when you can see on the edge here, so it's kind of cool. See how deep it goes there. I like how the material is very square here. I did not realize that. I don't know if that's always the case in some of them, but just the way they're slicing it here it probably is. Okay, so let's head back. We can do /camp, but I might as well enjoy these zones, right? It's a full daytime. Might as well check it out during the daytime and then, change it up at night. What are these guys? Little deer things? Deer owls, I think they're called, yeah. Or Emberhorn or something, yeah. Oh, these are the ones that are on fire. Oh. Yeah, I think the idea is that, like in a fire biome, you might have, like, creatures that have fire powers and things like that, and you'd actually see the effects on them, and that's kind of cool. Yeah, because Rodney was telling me about that a while ago about how there'd be different effects and like in a fire biome or a lava thing, you might have creatures that are more for that biome, and you might even see their special effects and stuff. So, oh yeah, here is the thing. I was like climbing up the mountain here. It's like, oh wait, this is the one we've already been to. So, yeah, very cool. And right now, you do randomly spawn at one of the planets. So like, you don't spawn all on one planet. There's 4 planets, and you spawn randomly there. I don't think you spawn potentially in space randomly for your first time, but I could be completely wrong, to be fair. So don't use this as proof. So if we go out here, this should be red then. Yeah, okay. So this is red. So that was Pyomysis or something. My English is not great. So this is space. Let's check out space next because space is kind of cool. So I don't know. That might be done by players or that crater. Actually, the crater looks like it was probably the players are the little ones. So the big crater is done by the world jet itself. Obviously, I would assume. Hit control. You can do WASD here just to shift your camera around. I love the background. This actually reminds me of some of the backdrops you kind of would see in X4 Foundations, which is an amazing space game, by the way. Personally, I think it's amazing. But they'd be a little bit different looking, obviously, because it's a different style game. This one looks more, a little bit more blurry and it has the right look for these characters and stuff in the world, right? But it just reminds me of like the different backdrops and stuff, and I'm sure they'll have different backdrops over time. So depending where you are in space, maybe, or just maybe it's procedurally generated or something like that, they'll have probably, I'm guessing, different backdrops eventually. So. But yeah, basically you have the roids here, the big roids, and then you have all the portals here. And I'm sure some of this will change later on. I think the idea is getting around will be based on like you might find like these rifts or whatever that can open up or tears. You can visit them and stuff like that. I don't know exactly all the travel. I know they want to do space and stuff as well, so that'll be part of it. Like you'll build a spaceship and actually go from one planet to another. I don't know all the plans on there. I don't even know if there's any real details on how that's going to work, obviously, yet. But things that we know are coming eventually. Oh, I thought that was kind of crazy. That was just the LOD, I guess. So whatever material, it was like a lava or whatever that's under here. It looked like there was something, above, but yeah. I wanted to check that out. I think those creatures might be causing some of the havoc. Okay, so let's go to our next one. Let's do this in order. So this is yellow. Let's look for green here. That was the red. So that was the exotic we just left. Green, that's blue. I guess it doesn't matter what order, but this must be green, I think. I think so. The blinking lights. So you're not based on this blue light here. It's based on the actual blinking lights right now. Oh, this is yellow. Okay, we're gonna go to yellow. Oh no, there's green. You know what? We're gonna go with green because we found it finally. So green is the temperate planet. This is just the regular old, what you would assume in a lot of games, temperate. Just the regular, what I would consider the default looking place that you get put on in a lot of games. It doesn't mean that's the case here, obviously, but yeah, there you go. Everything has a little bit of gravity, so they do these little gravity on everything in space here. Okay. I think they had a patch that might even fix some of the crashing when zoning. So if that's the case, I might not even crash as much. Did I just... Oh no, I just have the jacket. Yeah, so people get spawned with the jackets and it's kind of randomized, I think. So I thought maybe I was a whole different character for a second because of how puffy... I like how puffy the jacket is. It's actually really cool. Makes your characters really unique compared to like other characters just because the design could be quite, different. Yeah. Anyways, here's the temperate planet. This is nighttime right now. So let's just take a look over here so we can just see what it looks like at night. And then obviously we'll do another cut here and then we'll check it out in the daytime here. So yeah, got some trees there. I'm guessing somebody set a forest on fire over there. We're close to the border here. So yeah, you can see there's a big hill over here as well, which is really cool. And maybe we'll head over there, actually. Walk through this forest at night. This nighttime is a big part of the game, too. It's not always as interesting, obviously, because part of what I wanted to show you is what things look like. Now, keep in mind, on some of these planets, they have actual caverns underground. So, for example, I don't know which ones have what, but I just want to let you know we've been before where it was like this big, huge... Well, this is actually really cool. This feels a lot less temperate than I remember temperate, but we'll go with it. I guess these are like willow trees everywhere. So yeah, look at this. That's insane. That's really actually cool. But this is a great example of just how cool this world is. How the train generation could be so up and then so down. I mean, look how high we are. And then obviously you can go all the way down there. Plus you can still dig down there. And eventually, I'm sure they'll make the world even deeper potentially down the road. Like I said, the height is only at 250 right now. So, or it's probably 256, my guess is. Yeah, so you never know what they can come up with down the road. But I know they want to do potentially 4x4 kilometers. So 4,000 by 4,000, which, I mean, that's 4 times what you see now, which would be pretty incredible for one of these zones. So, but you have to remember the whole world is simulated. Every block communicates with other blocks. Each block knows what the temperature of the block beside it is, things like that. It's really incredible, the detail in that. There's a video you can find. You can literally just type in Stars Reach and then just Unity engine or whatever, and you should find videos. I think it was like Unity Unite, I believe it was, and Raph had done a couple videos there. There was one that's like an hour long where he goes through the tech engine and basically what they're doing here. So and it was a really incredible video because it definitely talked about a lot of what's going on and how they're doing it. And it's just, honestly, there is no other game like it. The closest game when it comes to the simulation that I've come with, ignore your like X4, like its economy and its universe that simulates that way, but where the world communicates, like it's like its own ecosystem and things like that. The closest game I've ever played was a game called Eco. I think they used to call it Eco the Game or whatever. It's on Steam. You need well, I think it's not so bad now. You kind of need a beefy computer for it. It's best to have a server to run it on, and it is meant for lots of players. So it's not meant for a single player game. It's meant very cooperatively. But it's a world where, like, if you throw your tailings into the ocean over time, this would cause ecologic damage to the point where the ice caps might melt on the planet and the oceans will rise. And yeah, it's a really cool thing. It's really unique. So this is like ice up here, I guess. They don't have snow in the engine yet. I think I'm sliding, so I'm letting go, and that's me sliding. I think in a perfect world, they would love to have snow where you're like walking and you'd actually make trails in the snow and things like that. Whether or not that happens, I don't know. it does sound like, obviously there's a lot of things they want to try, a lot of tech they want to do. Unity actually gives them a lot of those options. Unity actually has a really good engine for physics and stuff like that. So we're talking about things like, well, making basketball net with a basketball, or soccer, or even air hockey, things like this, where you can add little events in the world and things like that. So that's really cool. So. But yeah, that's where so that's where we were. We just walked the perimeter of this, and I mean, this is, of course, there's the wall here. So I mean, we walked from one wall to this wall basically, which was kind of cool. But it gives you a good, detail of the size of the world anyway. So there's sky sharks down there. Let's see what happens when it gets a little dark here. Look up in the sky here. So there you go. Brightness. I love the animation of me just sliding around. Very cool. And it looks like, I mean, those are legit hills in the background. Obviously, they're not. I don't think they're flat textures. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know what to agree. They seem to be not flat textures. Maybe they are, but I don't think they are. It's just the way the sun or the star went down behind it was really cool. So, but anyways, that's there. You can see other people doing their things, which is kind of cool. So you can sit here. Imagine building your house up here, for example, and this is where you live, and you can see all the players coming and going, and this could be just the place you live and keep an eye on people. Okay, so we can actually kind of cheat here and type in /home, and obviously these are like debug commands, which I assume wouldn't exist, down the road. But okay, so let's go back to space here. So we did exotic, we did temperate, which is kind of good because exotic is on the list. It's in red, green, blue, and yellow, right? So the next one we want to check out is tropical, which is blue. And I know that was nearby, but let's see if I can find it. I think that might have been the yellow one, I think. We need to find blue. That's red. Oh, that must be blue there then, because I'm pretty sure this was the yellow one. Yeah. We have to just go over here. Cool. Perfect. I like how when we went to space, we got different suit and, these little helmet and stuff like that. What is going on over here? I love how I'm like derped up how I came I know. We're just gonna go derpy in here. So this is the tropical planet. I'm guessing nighttime. Well, actually, I never thought about this, but day and night cycles might be universal wide. So far it seems that way, but I could be wrong. To be fair, I don't know 100% sure. But some MMOs do like to usually keep a universal timestamp, just because that way they can at least So later on, I'm sure they can change the day and night cycles. They'll be slower anyways, things like that. So, but each world is running on its own server, from my understanding. So it's like, they are different, they are unique. They're not, force tied together. If one world crashes, the other worlds stay up, things like that. So that's kind of nice for the reliability. So interesting design on the hill over here. A lot of people over here. Something hit me. Oh no, never mind. That's damage. I'm seeing other people's damage, which I like, but sometimes it's a little too floaty around me, making me think I'm doing it. As time goes on, hopefully they can. I like the idea of still seeing people do the damage, but hopefully they can do it where, it's a bit more on them and not me. Because like a lot of times, I'm like, wait, am I taking damage? I'm not doing damage, so I'm like, what's going on here? Yeah, so here's the border, obviously, over here. Sky sharks are around here. They are mean, evil jerks, by the way. You might see these like little emoji things. Yeah, everything has feelings and, how adorable. Okay. Hoping we're safe over here for now. Else just ran by. Maybe not for too long. So once again, because we're on a big hill mountain here, it's another snow biome. Very cool. Look at this. Like, this is this is big when you think about it. So the border is like right around here, I think. Right? We saw the border over here. There's the border-ish. Look how big this place is. Look at, like, over there. Those are places you can go to. Yeah, so that's 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer. So even this, I'd be satisfied. But I think their goal, from my understanding, was 4, like I said. So that is intense. I think that would be brilliant and perfect. Look at this. I love these looking trees. I like how these forests feel like you're actually in a thick forest. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like I'm in this is a boring little forest, or it feels maple leaf or whatever. It feels like I'm actually in the thick of it. Here's water. Water has physics, by the way, like full out physics. Like, you could drain this lake out. For example, you could spread this out. You can, mess with it, things like that, which is really cool. So you can divert rivers. So if you had a farm, it even affects, like, because I told you, like, all the blocks talk to each other. You can have an area where it's like deserty and droughted, and you can actually route that water into that area and bring life to it in a sense over time. So, yeah, it's pretty damn cool, to be fair. It's pretty much like real life in many ways. So simulated, and it is a video game, so it's not like super hardcore, but the idea is there. Look at these arches. That's really cool. These arches remind me of, like, you go there and maybe there'll be some pirates hanging out over there. Guy's getting his butt handed to him. Better him than me, right? Yeah. Go up here. I think these might be banana trees. Bananas. Oh, bananas. Definitely looks like bananas to me. Oh no, somebody set a tree on fire. But the mobs are the player. Very cool. Yeah. Like I said, this episode is just, this video, I should say. It's not really episodes, but this video is just literally us just exploring. Checking out the world, seeing what it looks like as almost natural as possible. You can see all these scoring marks. That's from these guys actually blowing up. Yeah, see, they're blowing up now, so they are unfortunately definitely making a mess now. So, but at least we're seeing what the world looks like before it gets overly scorched. So all these marks here, obviously, are these. So we're not the first here. Obviously, when the game launches and stuff, when there's hundreds of, if not thousands of planets, I don't know exactly how they're doing it. We'll probably find some planets that no one's touched, and you'll get that fresh view of it. But overall, it looks pretty good here. So very nice. This one, I like this one the most so far. This is supposed to be the tropical one, which I guess it makes sense. It had bananas and stuff. But I think the reason it's my favorite one is just it has a lot more smoother, softer land kind of thing. I like that a lot. I still like how it goes up in hills and stuff like that, but I just like the idea of, I don't know, it feels like a golf course resort in Florida. Like, they've done a pretty good job, I guess, since tropical. And there's the thing there, so let's go over here. We can just type in home. And we're going to go and hit G on the portal, which I have not crashed once yet, which let's not start now. And before this is where it doesn't want to work for me. G! This is me, I think. So I'm going to try to go like this and then switch it out, see if that works. G. I'm definitely glitched. It might not even know I'm here. Well, if this is yeah, let's do F5. Remember, F5 refreshes the UI, but it could be glitchy when you do that. Keeping that in mind, it might crash you, but yeah, I might need a relog, unfortunately. Give me a sec. Okay, so when I did exit, the game crashed, so I guess we were hung up on something there. So it did send a crash report, so hopefully that's useful. Sometimes I wish, like, when the crash report comes up, you could say something as well, like, "Oh, just let you know, I ended up exiting the game because I couldn't use the portal, blah blah blah." That way they could say, "Oh, okay," like maybe there's a connection to somebody else's crash, right? But hopefully it's enough to help them out, anyways. Yeah, let the crash report happen. Please don't try to cancel that prematurely or anything like that, because that data is very important, especially on a game like this. Uh, what is going on over there? I'm gonna have to ask you to calm down, Desert Planet. There you go. Our last one here. There you go. And like I said, they're going to have tons of different types, biomes, and worlds, and I think even some of these are going to sunset. So, like, it was a first or couple iterations, and they've learned new things with it. So they're not going to, relearn, use it again. So they're just going to like legitimately delete, done. We're done with it. But they've learned to, make them nicer, or they just didn't have the assets and things like that over time. So keep that in mind. But this is just to give you an idea of like what they can do with the world. And like as you saw with the exotic world, they got those cool mushrooms done. That's just done with the terrain system, but they could add more things like that into it. Really cool things. Like I said, massive caverns underground. They do exist. I'm not sure if I can find it for you or not during this video. Probably not, because people have to dig down to it and get to it. But I believe that they're kind of like just a big empty cavern under there. I did other footage. I did a 3-hour play, and I found it in there. In that 3-hour play, somebody, made a base there and stairs and stuff just so people can get down to it. Oh gosh, this guy is like a boss. So we're really screwed here, I think. Yeah, that's what happens when you die, by the way. So we just do last station or wherever. Not a big deal. Now, just to let you know, if you die more than once, so if I die again, whatever I had collected will be on that bag. Now, I don't think I've collected anything from here to there because we've already been at a save point anyways. But the thing is, you do lose your items, so that's why it's important to go to claim and save, or save here like where we are now, because that is definitely important. I like the glistening on the tops here. Very cool. We're just waiting for that daybreak to happen here. This is the desert one, so I'm not expecting anything amazing. Is that the jerk that killed me? Oh, probably. Has he been following me that far then? Did I aggro him at that? Unless there's more than one of them out there. I might have been holding the aggro that long. He just looked like he reset position now, so. But this one's so cool. Like, they do the... what do you call it in the desert? The mace? Mace? I forget what it's called. But the, like the multi-layer thing there. That's really cool. So they still get the look off really well, even for the desert biomes and stuff like that. That's the part I like. They've done a really good job of getting these biomes to actually look like these type of biomes. The only one that threw me off was the exotic, but the exotic is exotic, right? They had the big mushrooms, so obviously that's unique. But the rest of it kind of looked like a normal forest, to be fair, so that threw me off. But exotic doesn't mean that it has to be alien and like overall. Like, for example, it might have one or two features that's special, like those mushrooms, right? It doesn't mean that exotic planet doesn't have other, like can't look like a temperate planet with some other exotic features, I guess I'm trying to say. So okay, here we go. So this got some color into it. Yeah, this is really cool. This definitely gives off the proper desert vibes. They've made it not overly mountainy, but they still got the mountains in here too, so it's nice. You can mine inside of these, build a home in them, whatever you want to do. Yeah, this is really good. You got your cactuses here. Now, keep in mind, they recycle the creatures a lot. I'm sure they're going to make hundreds of mobs down the road. A lot of them are in testing, so they have like little AI features they put on them. They actually are on weak AI, so they don't have really good pathfinding or anything right now. That's intentional right now, but as time goes on, they will develop those more and things like that. I just want to say, because I see some nasty comments out there, and I just want to kind of clarify something. I shouldn't have to as a player, and somebody who's really interested in this. Um, this game has been worked on for 5 years, and people are like, "Well, this is it for 5 years." 5 years was mostly getting this to this point. Like they've had like 5 massive iterations. I think it was like several on the actual world, but the world gen and stuff. But I think it was like 5 major ones where like I don't know if the code had changed completely 5 times in a row, but they've had changes. I think first they were looking at Unreal Engine, and then they went to Unity and things like that. The first year usually is just a lot of okay, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna do it? There's a lot of that talk as well. But they put a lot of time and effort into that whole simulation, and I just want to let people know that like from now you look from what you have now. Think about this. This took 5 years to do. Think about from today to 1 year from now and come back to this video. I can guarantee you there's a lot more features, a lot more content, a lot of everything. And that's because the puzzle pieces are like, you're kind of like, you built the frame of the puzzle. You've put in a lot of the stuff. Now you're just filling in the gaps, and the gaps fill in a lot easier. You know, I'm not saying their job is easy, but I'm just saying it's not going to be as crazy as what they did to get the simulation up and running, obviously. So this is a beautiful planet too. I like it. I don't think I've seen any oases. Well, I guess if there's oasis, it'd be down here. I haven't really been paying attention. But I mean, sneaking a couple. I guess there's a little oasis down here. Put some oases in here, and then you basically got your full desert, right? So there's a little water here. Oh yeah, there's some green grass here. So there's some green space here. This is like your oasis, I guess, here. I wouldn't mind seeing the oasis a bit more greeny around here. So, like, you know, and this might be part of the thing. Maybe it'll actually do that on its own. Probably not. You probably have to actually grow something in here for it to happen, I'm guessing. That's another part of the game where, like, you can actually basically terraform a biome into another biome. I know that sounds crazy. Or a world, I should say. So maybe you want to take, like, that forest, bring it here. You can bring the trees here. You can move the water around here. You can bring, even the creatures and things like that. Maybe not right now, but in the long run, you can bring like, heat it up, cool it down, things like that. Eventually, you can actually terraform entire worlds to specific, things that you want. So even if you find I like this world, maybe it's like the right flatness or whatever, but it's like, ooh, I wish I had this and that. Well, you can bring that to that world, which is really freaking cool. So it's gonna put a whole new meaning to exploration for sure over time. Now this is cool. This one has a cave. This does not seem player generated. Which that's another thing too. There are caves. We're not really getting a good view of caves today because that's like underground content and things like that. But this is a great example of like there can be procedurally generated caves underground, so you can have tons of like wormy, effects in the ground and things like that. Like I said, the open caverns, you name it, you can find some cool stuff over time. So yeah, there's another one here. So definitely, this is pretty cool actually. There's nothing here right now, obviously. So this is a cavern, not a massive cavern, but a small cavern. But imagine saying, well, this is pretty cool. I like this. And then making this your home, right? Like you can put a couple of homes in here, have a little town, like that's kind of the idea you can do with this. So I like it. I like it a lot. But anyways, that's pretty much it. That's what this video was. It was literally taking you guys on a tour of the 5 different zones. The 5 different biomes, which we went through: exotic, space, temperate, tropical, and desert. And they also have names. I'll put them in the skip here so you can see them on the YouTube video because I'm not good at pronouncing any of the names. But yeah, lots of fun. And like I said, you can do /home/camp temporarily to get back here. Like I said, temporary, I'm assuming most of those commands won't exist. They might have like an unstuck or something eventually, but there'll probably be certain requirements. It might even kill you, things like that. So But either way, I hope you've enjoyed this. Please definitely check out the Kickstarter. Should be here. My guess on the Kickstarter is, I'm guessing it's going to be either the 10th or the 11th of February. I can't promise you on the day. I had it in my head. Now I don't know if I feel like it was going to be the 10th or 11th. I'm not sure, but definitely check out the links anyways. Follow the Kickstarter. Just even following the Kickstarter helps them show up higher on the Kickstarter. Meaning once the Kickstarter launches, it means that it shows that there's a lot of people interested in it, which helps promote more people backing it up. Which is a big deal. It's also on Steam. I'll put the links on there so you can go to Steam. You can wish list it, things like that. Once again, that helps it get higher on Steam itself. People see that wish list when they're looking for other games, and then they be like, "Oh, this looks interesting," and another player, interested in the game. And then, of course, their own website there. You can apply to join testing and things like that. So, a lot of ways you can be part of the community. They have an awesome Discord as well. So. Either way, my friends, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this, please don't forget to subscribe, comment, like. We'll see wonderful people next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye.